guys, and welcome back to my channel. We are at the start of Libra season, and Libras are one of my favorite zodiac signs. I mentioned before Leos are my most favorite zodiac sign, but Libras, they're high up there. I love my Libras. I have a lot of Libras in my family and in my friend group. I personally do have a lot of Libra in my chart as well. My rising sign, which is like your first impression, is in Libra, so when people often meet me, they often get Libra vibes. And also my Mars, which is your planet of like aggression, is in Libra. So clearly I am not a very aggressive person if you know anything about Libras, which if you don't know anything about Libras, let's go ahead and talk about them. So to be considered a Libra, you have to be born between September 23rd and October 22nd. That is the range of dates for Libra. So if your birthday falls in that range, congratulations, you're a Libra. So Libras are an air sign just like Geminis and Aquariuses. I'm a Gemini, I've mentioned that before. So me and Libras actually have a lot in common. And if you are a Gemini or Aquarius watching this video, a lot of things I say about Libras may also apply to you because I mean air signs typically share a lot of the same traits. Typically whatever element that you fall under, you share a lot of traits with those other signs. So Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses often share very similar traits. They're all different signs and they all have different quirks about them, if that's the appropriate word. But you may find some similarities here, and also you may have a lot of Libra in your chart if you feel like you agree with a lot of these. I will leave a link down below to co-star so you can figure out your birth chart. You just need to know the time and place and date of your birthday, which I hope you know your own birthday. So air signs are definitely known as more detached signs. We definitely aren't very over emotional, and if you're a Libra watching this thinking I am very emotional, your moon sign may have an effect on that. If you have like a water sign or a fire sign as your moon sign, that can cause you to be a very emotional person. So like I said, look at your whole birth chart. That will explain a lot about yourself. But typically air signs like Libras, they don't show a lot of emotion. They're not very mushy-gushy people. Libras often don't think with like emotion. They definitely think of like what's the greater good here, like what's going to be the best solution for everybody rather than like their own personal internal emotions. Another thing about air signs like Libras, they definitely like their freedom. They definitely don't like being tied down. They want to be their own independent free selves. And so relationships with air signs can be very complicated because you have to give them their freedom to be their self. They don't like being controlled. They don't like being told what to do. You just gotta let them kind of be who they are. And I feel like that's very true for Libras. I feel like Libras will not tie down somebody that will control them or manipulate them in any way because they're just not about that life. Like they're gonna be their true selves and you cannot stop them. So Libras are also a cardinal sign just like Aries, Cancers, and Capricorns. Basically what this means is that they like change, they like to start new things. They don't want to be stuck in the same place with like the same people. They often like change, like having a new environment. They like meeting new people, starting new projects, which I find this to be quite funny because Libras are horrible at making decisions. Like that is the big thing with Libras is they cannot make a decision on anything minor or big. So the fact that Libras like change was kind of surprising to me when I was doing my research. But what I will say is that even though Libras may take a while to make a decision, like a long time, once they do make a decision, they're usually pretty happy about that and they're enjoying their new decision or change. Just because Libras know they put so much thought and effort into that decision that when it does happen, they're often very excited about it. So, but Libras, man, they are so indecisive. That is like a really big thing about them. They cannot make a decision for the life of them. I have dated a lot of Libra men and oh my God, they're very difficult to date. I will say that right off the bat. We'll get into that a little later here. One of the reasons Libras cannot make decisions very quickly is because they're represented by the scales. So Libras really like balance, and when they have to make a decision that will offset the balance of something or maybe upset somebody, they often don't want to even make that decision. They're just gonna sit there and just wait it out and see if it like solves itself. They don't like to start fights. They don't like to make decisions on big things. They rather like let somebody else do that. What I will say about this though, when it comes to like friend groups, your Libra friends will often be like the mediators. So let's say like you and another friend are fighting, your Libra friend's gonna step in and be like, okay guys, we see both of your sides. Why don't we just compromise? Why don't we give like this person this part of this and this person this part of this and we'll like meet in the middle here. They'll make you apologize to each other and forgive each other. Libras are just the mediators of the friend group. They want to make sure that everyone gets along. They don't like conflict in the friend group. I personally think Libras are such good friends for that reason. I mean, who else is going to step in and tell you guys to quit your shit and get along, you know? And since Libras do listen to both sides of the story, they're often very good listeners because they want to hear you out. They want to hear your side of it. They want to understand how we can meet in the middle here and make everything a-okay. So if you have a Libra in your friend group, consider yourself very lucky because they're probably going to be the ones that keeps the friend group together. So every single sign is ruled by a planet. Libras are actually ruled by the planet of Venus, which is the planet of love and sexuality and beauty. This often makes Libras very good partners when it comes to relationships. Now, what I will say, Like I said before, Libras cannot make a decision, and they are air signs, so they don't show a lot of emotion. But when a Libra is committed to you, they're often very good partners because they want to please you, they want to make you happy. And I definitely feel like Libras are not the sign that will stay single, because I feel like personally all Libras are so beautiful, and I'm not just saying that. I just feel like Libras just have this beauty. Same thing with Tauruses. Tauruses are also ruled by Venus, and I just feel like because they're ruled by that planet, they often are all such beautiful people. I cannot think of a single ugly Libra I know. They're all so beautiful. Not saying that other signs are like uglier than Libras. I'm just saying, like, I don't know a single ugly Libra. They're all so beautiful. They all have such great smiles. I also think if you have certain Libra placements in your chart, you're often very pretty as well. Not just saying that because my rising sign's in Libra, but I do feel like a lot of people that have a rising in Libra are often very pretty. Me and two of my best friends, all three have a rising in Libras, and I think we're all very attractive people. I'll insert a picture. We're all beautiful. Thank you. Don't call my friends ugly. I will cut you. Just kidding, I won't do that. But yeah, Libras, they're very beautiful people, and they're often very charming people, so that's why I don't think Libras can stay single, or at least not have options for very long, because they're just so charming. Again, I have dated a lot of Libra men, and they all just entice me in. I don't know what it is, but they're all just so, they're so charming. They know what to say to you to make you, like, hooked, you know? I feel like Libras also just present themselves very well. They usually dress pretty nicely. They don't like to wear raggedy clothes with like holes in them and stuff like that. I feel like they definitely go out with like their hair nicely done, and they always just make sure they look their best. You know, you don't see Libras going out of the house looking like a train wreck unless they're going to like work or something like that. If they're going out of the house to go to like the clubs or the grocery store, usually they're making themselves a little bit put together. So even though Libras are very charming and beautiful, they do have a lot of commitment issues because, again, they can't make a fucking decision to save their lives, okay? So if you're trying to date a Libra, good luck. Good luck getting them to actually commit to you and date you. Not saying Libras are like hoes and they hoe around, but they definitely have to keep their options open, and they definitely don't want to commit to one singular person until it's like guaranteed, like this is it, you know? It's so hard to explain. I literally was talking to a Libra guy on and off for a year, and we never dated. I know. I just think overall Libras are very peaceful people. They like to keep the peace. They don't like conflict. They'll even go out of their way to avoid conflict because that's how much they hate it. They're also not very confrontational people. They're not gonna come to you and be like, yo, why'd you say what you said, or start fights with you. They're usually gonna like let it slip under the rug. It's until you've pressed a Libra too far along that they're gonna step up and say something to you, you know? And I kind of feel that because my Mars is ruled by Libra, and I'm definitely that way. Like, if you do one thing to me, I'm not gonna say anything. It's to the point where, like, you mess with me time and time again, that I'm finally gonna, like, snap on you. So, I understand that it takes a lot to get Libras angry, but when you do piss a Libra off, good luck, Charlie. That's all I gotta say, because they have a lot of pent-up things about you that you've done, stored inside their brain, and they're ready to unleash it. I would not piss a Libra off. I wouldn't do it. So because Libras like justice so much, a lot of them will actually go into politics for jobs, or at least some sort of public work, because they want to see right by the world. A lot of them often know a lot of things about politics and world issues. They just want to help people so much, and they just want the greater good of everything, you know? They want to help poor people. They often want to help kids in like third world countries and things like that. Libras just want the world to be a better place at the end of the day. And I think that's why I like Libras so much. They're just such good, wholesome people. They really do want the best for, I feel like, everybody. Of course, there are bad Libras out there, trust me. I know some. But for the most part, Libras, they're just such sweet people. Like, honestly, I can't say too many negative things about them, other than the fact that they cannot commit or make a decision. Like, really? Libras are kind of perfect. And I'm sorry if you didn't want me to say that, if you have like a grudge against Libras. I'm sorry. I truly think they're such good people. I also have a lot of Libras in my family. 3 of my aunts on my mom's side are Libras, and my aunts did help raise me a lot growing up. So I just feel like I have a special place in my heart for Libras because they were like a mother figure to me growing up, you know? I always like to mention some famous people with the particular sign we're talking about, so let's mention some famous Libras. Some famous Libras are Kim Kardashian, Cardi B, Zac Efron, Eminem, Will Smith, Bruce Springsteen, Serena Williams, Zach Galifianakis, Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Gwen Stefani, Lil Wayne, Halsey, Nick Cannon, Avril Lavigne. Oh, I love Avril Lavigne so much. She's my queen. Snoop Dogg, Hilary Duff, and John Krasinski. I had to mention John Krasinski. I love that actor so much. You guys know I'm a huge Office fan, and he's my favorite character in The Office, and I love him as an actor and as a person. He's the best. Again, I love Libras. So yeah, I think that's all I gotta say about Libras. Let's go ahead and jump into the makeup. I just look so good right now. Let's not talk about the hair. I'm gonna do it after I do my makeup. I just couldn't be bothered with that in this moment. Clearly, as you can see, my eyes are already prepped and primed and ready for eyeshadow. I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer for that. So today we're taking the Zodiac palette, of course, like we always do in this series. That's like the whole point in the series. I have like a general idea what I'm going for with this eye look, but I also don't, if that makes sense. Like kind of in God's hands at this point. I'm gonna first take this shade called the Libra. So obviously with these looks, I like to take whatever Zodiac sign we're in and make that the star of the show. Since this color is such a light pinky taupey color, I will be using it, of course, but it's not gonna be the star of the show because I want these looks to be like a bit extra, a bit extravagant. I want them to be like statement eye looks, or at least statement makeup pieces. And with this kind of color, it was just really hard to do that. So I am going to use the Scales pigment, which is the Libra pigment that Kathleen Colourpop also created. But just so you know, I'm still going to use the Libra shade as a transition in my crease. And I'm just going to run that into my crease and windshield wiper motions. And circular motions as well. Get it all up in there. Okay, now that that's blown out into our crease, I'm going to take the shade, the Sagittarius, which is like a purple shade. And I'm going to place that in the outer corner and then bring it up into the crease. I kind of realized I haven't used the Sagittarius in like any of my looks. It just hasn't like been a color I've reached for, you know? But I'm using it in today's look. Obviously I'm going to use it in the Sagittarius look. And I think I'm going to even use it in my Scorpio look. Like I have these envisioned in my brain. I think for the next 3 Zodiacs I'm going to use the Sagittarius shade. But it's just funny because I haven't used it like thus far at all. Not on purpose, it just hasn't been a color I needed, but now I do. I love my Sagittariuses. I'm a Gemini. Me and Sagittariuses are like best friends. So just like in every Zodiac sign video, I want you guys to comment down below and tell me who is your favorite Libra. I have so many Libras in my life, like literally most of my family is Libras. I truly can't pick just like one. I think my favorite set of Libras would be my 3 aunts. So my grandma and grandpa on my mom's side have 5 daughters and 3 of them are Libras, and all 3 of them, even the other aunt that like isn't a Libra, they all like helped raise me. They were all like second moms to me. So those 3 Libras are my favorite Libras for sure. But like I have friends that are Libras. I have a lot of Libra in my chart actually as well. So yeah, I love all my Libras. Like don't get offended if I didn't say you're my favorite Libra, but my aunts definitely are my favorite Libras. Because they were there for me. They were like second moms, you know? I'm gonna go back in with the Libra and just kind of blend these together. I also think it's funny that the Libra is the only shade I fit pan on in this palette because I use it in almost every single look. Because just like a Libra, it's dependable, it's needed to balance out an eye look. I'm gonna set the palette down for just a second and I'm gonna go in with the Scales pigment by Kathleen Colourpop. This is the Libra pigment. I wouldn't use any other pigment on this day. I'm gonna dip my brush into the pigment, pick some product up, and then I'm gonna spray my brush because these pigments work a lot better wet than dry. And I'm gonna place that onto the first half of my lid. This pigment is a very gorgeous, soft pink, but it does have like a bit of blue reflect in it. It's really, really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take the shade the Cancer and highlight my brow bone with that. Alright, so that is kind of it for eyeshadow. I know it's a simple look, but it's pretty. It's very Libra, it's very pinky, purpley, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and do my lashes and my base makeup off camera. I am taking my Bold Face Makeup lashes in the style Lashes Out. So I'm going to apply these and my base makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, lashes, base makeup on. Let's go ahead and finish off my face makeup and my lips and be done with this video. So for bronzer, I'm going to take my Milani Baked bronzer in the shade Soleil. This bronzer is more warm toned and I think it's going to complement the purple in my eye look very well. Because purple can often make you look very dead and like cool toned and just like not very lively, you know? And this very warm bronzer should help that. Bronzer is very glowy and I just think glowy skin will go really pretty with the shimmer on my lid. I'm going to use that same bronzer to contour my nose. And then for blush, I'm going to take my Colourpop Fresh N Peachy Pressed Powdered Blush. It's like a peachy blush with a lot of pink in it, and again, I thought it'd be really pretty with the pinky tone in this look. Wow, that was a lot of blush. I'm about to simmer that down. Wasn't trying. Oh no. Oh no, it's okay. We'll make it work. Make it work, make it twerk. Am I right? I'm gonna take some powder and just clean it up as well. Okay, let's go ahead and finish off these eyes. I'm really not gonna do too much to the lower lash line because we really didn't do too much to the top lid either. So I'm gonna take the Libra once again. I'm gonna run that from inner and outer corner on my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take a stiff little brush and grab the shade the Sagittarius. And I'm gonna place that directly onto my lash line and use it to deepen up the Libra. I'm gonna take the Cancer once again and use that to highlight my inner corner. I do want to line my waterline with this Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Get Paid. It's like a shimmering champagne liner. I'm going to dust the powder off from underneath my jawline. Or on my jawline, I guess. I don't know. I do want glowing skin today, so I'm going to spray my face with my Pixie Glow Mist. I'm going to use some brow powder on my eyebrows and use my Brow Bar to Go by Gerard Cosmetics. For highlight, I'm taking my Anastasia x Amrezy highlighter. I'm going to take my Colourpop lippie stick in the shade Dreamdate. It's just like a nude. And then I do want to go over top of that with my Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Attention Haul. Have I used just Colourpop? Pretty much. That was not my intention. I'm sorry, guys. I try to switch it up with my brands that I use, and I've kind of just realized I've mainly used Colourpop. At least they're affordable. I'm going to apply some mascara to my lower lash line. This is my Smashbox Super Fanned Out Mascara. And then I'm going to use some setting spray. Okay, so here is the final and complete makeup look. It's just a nice, soft, pinky purple look, perfect for Libra season. Their colors are, you know, pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair really quick off camera, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, and that completes today's video. I hope you learned a little something about Libras, maybe even about yourself if you are a Libra. I really enjoy my Zodiac series, and I hope you guys do too. I'm so excited for our next Zodiac, which is a Scorpio. I can't wait to talk about Scorpios. I have a lot to say about them. Don't forget to comment down below and tell me who your favorite Libra is and why. And besides that, hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.